YouTube, Niner Empire, what is going down? Welcome back to another video. So it's being reported that Steve Young, former 49ers legend, Hall of Fame quarterback, has been mentoring Trey Lance. It's been said that Trey Lance has made it known that he'll welcome Steve Young's advice with open arms. Um, I think this is a good thing for the most part. I think Trey Lance should listen to anybody, any veteran Hall of Fame quarterback that's interested in mentoring him and doing those type of things to make him a better player. Um, Obviously, we get that Trey Lance is young, right? I mean, the guy's 21 years old, 22 years old. When he was drafted, he was 21, or he had just turned 21. Um, but the bottom line is he he's a young guy, right? I mean, in 10 years, he's only going to be 32 years old and likely still playing. Trey Lance, if all goes well throughout his NFL career, could play until the guy could play until he's 35, 40 years old. I guess that's the hope for 49ers fans. But I like that Steve Young is mentoring Trey Lance. I think it's a very good thing. I think really in all reality, when it comes down to Trey Lance, a lot of people are talking about his confidence, his throwing ability, this, that, and the other. But the bottom line is I think the main thing for Trey Lance heading into next season is it's got to be his confidence and the confidence that he has, I guess, in a way. Now, obviously, last year it was a little bit weird. He was backing up Jimmy Garoppolo. There were still talks on if Trey Lance was even ready. There were talks about the 49ers don't believe Trey Lance is ready because they're starting Jimmy Garoppolo. That was never the case in any way, shape, or form. The 49ers knew they wanted to develop Trey Lance, sit him behind Jimmy Garoppolo, let him learn the playbook, let him learn the speed of the NFL, let him learn what it's like to go week in and week out of NFL games, pretty much learn the process of being an NFL quarterback. It's pretty much the trend now. I mean, a lot of people are doing it. Guys like Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence, those guys went to teams where they had no quarterback. They had no veteran quarterback that was capable of starting over them, still winning them football games, and letting them develop behind. Those teams never had that opportunity, or they were never in that situation for that to happen. The Jaguars had Gardner Minshew. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence is going to be the better option. Gardner Minshew wasn't going to remain with the Jags. He didn't remain with the Jags. But just because Trey Lance was in a situation where he was drafted to a team that had a quarterback that took their team to the Super Bowl, that played good enough, wasn't ever great play by Jimmy Garoppolo, but it was good enough play for the 49ers to win games. No other NFL teams really had that situation come about. So I think for the most part, I think a lot of Trey Lance's criticism comes from the 49ers situation just to start Jimmy Garoppolo and ahead of him, get him develop and whatnot. I mean, look at Patrick Mahomes. When the Chiefs drafted Patrick Mahomes with the 12th overall pick, Alex Smith was still playing at a fairly high level. There was never really that sense of, look, Alex Smith, he can't play no more. Alex Smith could still play football. He could still start in the NFL when he was with Kansas City. But the Chiefs seen something in Patrick Mahomes. They hit it right on the head. They got him with the 12th overall pick, I believe it was, and the rest is history. To me, it just doesn't make sense as to why teams, or not why teams, but why people are criticizing Trey Lance when, for one, he really hasn't even played but 2 full games in his NFL career. I've went over the criticism of Trey Lance. It is what it is. He's going to get criticism. No other NFL team was in a situation where they had two good quarterbacks, one being a veteran that was in a Super Bowl, that played in a Super Bowl, that knew what it was like to go, week in and week out of an NFL season, knew what it was like when it came to preparing for the playoffs and whatnot. No other really NFL team has been like that, has been in a situation where they had a veteran quarterback that was still good, and then a rookie coming in, a super young rookie like Trey Lance, a 22-year-old quarterback that, didn't really need to start. If anything, backed up that veteran quarterback, learned from the veteran quarterback, developed. The 49ers lost nothing by starting Trey Lance last season. Yeah, they may have lost the NFC Championship game, but at the end of the day, they didn't lose anything in terms of Trey Lance. Like, they didn't lose anything with developing Trey Lance and letting him sit behind Garoppolo for a year. If anything, they gained more than they probably would have lost. And I say that because Trey Lance was able to learn the full playbook. He was able to develop. He was able to learn the playbook, learn what it was like to go in an away game. Being a wild card team, the 49ers played all their playoff games away. They knew what it was like to... Trey Lance got to feel what it was like to go through that process, and I think that's a big positive for any quarterback to do. But like I said, I mean, there's not really any other NFL team that drafted, during that draft class that had that opportunity and had that leeway to do so. And just because the 49ers were in that position, yeah, Trey Lance developed. He probably learned more than what he would have if he started. But it comes with criticism, and that's just what it is. And people don't understand. People are going to criticize. They want clicks. Even if they don't really think Trey Lance is going to be bad, they're still going to say so just for the clicks and the viewage and so on and so forth. But the bottom line is a guy like Steve Young mentoring Trey Lance can absolutely help him. Steve Young is a Hall of Fame quarterback. Any Hall of Fame quarterback would help Trey Lance. Steve Young backed up Joe Montana. Steve Young was in a very, very similar situation that Trey Lance was in last season. And I'm sure Steve Young's probably mentoring him when it comes to confidence, his skill all in all. And I love it. I'm here for it. Learning from Steve Young, one of the greatest 49er quarterbacks of all time, Joe Montana, and then you talk about Steve Young. I mean, that's a 1-2 punch right there. Learning from one of those guys that has been with the same organization, that has been pretty much in the same spot when he backed up Joe Montana, what more can you ask for? I'm for it, and I think it's a very, very good thing that that's happening, and I'm glad Trey Lance is welcoming that with open arms.